In war zones, you can also feel even years later, right? You can still feel the energy that is kind of hanging around or residual from those moments or the things that happened.
What is a psychic, and do you have any special powers, or how does it work?
So I just feel that I have grown and developed over time the ability to tune into people's energies. Mediumship is a skill where people connect with the spirits of those people who are no longer with us, who passed away. How can I best receive this? And then if there's anything still standing in the way for her, the universe will show her the block. And if she can receive it, if the divine sees her fit to receive it, she does. I do believe that we are born with a certain energy, like maybe our point zero, where we start and then we just collate. We collect from places that we go to, from people that we interact with.
Can you bring wealth to a person by healing, or what do you do as a psychic?
Yes and no.
Have you connected with any celebrity spirit?
When I first started out with mediumship, I channeled Marilyn Monroe for someone.
Today's guest is a psychic, a tarot card reader, and an energy healer who's been practicing professionally since 2012. She is from the Netherlands. She's trained by the shaman from Indonesia and now based in Dubai. She says she can sense spirits, shift energies, and even saw a protective presence outside her door. As a person, I see things differently. I believe differently. But I'm here to explore, ask questions, and understand. Let's dive into the world that challenges what we think and what we know. Let's get in. So, Kyra, how are you? Thank you for doing this. I think that it's going to be one of the most interesting podcasts that I've done.
Thank you.
And it was really difficult because that's the topic that we are talking about is completely, it's a contradiction. And it's very interesting to know that side of the world. So,
and for me, it's so normal.
Yeah, for you, it's an everyday thing, right?
Yeah, it's so interesting to be like, ask all these questions. And I'm like, that makes me think about things again that are just, extremely normal in my usual life.
But you look quite fresh. The last time I saw you, you were a little bit, but you look fresh now.
Yeah, thank you. I spent time in nature. I recharged. Yeah.
Okay. You just been to Netherlands is where you live, right?
Yeah, I live. I live in Dubai, but yeah, my family is still in the Netherlands, so I visit them every once in a while to just recharge.
Okay, so let's get on track with the podcast. And so what do you do? Like, what kind of things and what do you do and how do you do it?
Yeah, so I'm a spiritual healer and intuitive energy reader. I read cards and I help people figure out what the decisions could be in their life or where they feel stuck and what to do about that stuck energy that they experience themselves in. So mostly people come to me and they say, I'm at a crossroads. I need to make a decision or I feel stuck.
Okay, and how do you help them?
So I either give them readings where I mostly use the tarot cards, which help me figure out, let's say, like what the guidance is, what decisions to make, which direction to take, what's going on, so they get more clarity.
What do you mean by energies? Like energies,
so energies. Well, we all have energies, right? We all have. We have a physical body, and then we have what we call an energy body or an aura. Usually about 30 centimeters. I always use like the arm hand like this around us, but also places can have energies because of previous things that happened there. You know how in war zones you can also feel even years later, right? You can still feel the energy that is kind of hanging around or residual from those moments or the things that happened.
So energies is with us from the day we are born, or do we keep collecting it? Or
both.
And does it attract any negative, positive? How does it work?
So I try to also refrain from using negative and positive because we have a certain connotation with that. Like, negative is bad and positive is good. positive energy. We'd like to have as much positive energy or positive emotions or positive feelings, right,
Yes.
as possible.
Okay, so you talk about tarot cards reading, yeah? What do you mean by tarot cards? What are they? And how do
Yeah,
you-
so tarot cards, I have a couple of examples here.
Okay.
So this is the sun,
The sun,
for
okay.
example. So the cards, they were designed in 1910. This
Design,
particular deck
okay.
that I use, it's way older. It's like the first tarot cards have already been found in the 1600s.
And design, you mean who designed
So
it?
this is a design by Pamela Smith on behalf of Arthur Rider-Waite.
Okay.
And he created them to, like as a, what's the word
As a
I'm
way
looking
to
for?
communicate? Or
Yeah, as a way to discover things from the subconscious.
Okay, but designing this, how does it work? Like, can you tell me?
Yeah, so we have 78 cards total all tarot decks have 78 cards.
Okay.
And we would shuffle them, and some people would see which ones falls out. When you watch the tarot readers on TikTok,
Yes.
they would see which ones fall out. I like to shuffle them and then give them to a person to read, give them to a person to see so that they can see what's going on. And then I know what they mean, but I also get, I want to say, intuition or inspiration
Okay.
on what they mean for that specific person.
So first thing, like when you say that the tarot cards fall out, so is it a specific way that you juggle or
No,
you
you just shuffle.
or
You just shuffle like
just
normal.
shuffle and the one
and you
card falls
ask.
out?
You can ask the deck, like, let the right cards fall out.
Okay, and how, for example, this, I think you have the sun, right?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
So the sun is a very positive card. It talks about success, optimism, positivity, healthy boundaries,
Right.
happiness, happy inner child. So when this card comes up, we can be very positive and know that something will come to a successful end.
So before we go to this tarot card reading, do as a person, a human needs to understand or believe in it first, or is just that how you see it? If you believe in it, then you can read for anyone. Is it that?
I mean, I believe in it, so I can read for
Okay.
everyone.
Okay.
It's up to them if they wish to
they
receive
receive
my
it or
message
not. Okay.
or not.
So tarot, is it joined with any religion, or is it?
No.
It's just the way to see.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just one of the tools to use.
Okay.
There are many others that
okay.
other people use, but
Okay.
I love the cards because they make things very visual.
Okay, so in tarot cards, right? Which let's talk about. How have you cured? Like any one example that you can give, or something that you've achieved a big success while tarot card reading, and then helping a person out.
I'm not sure if I have like one particular success. There is loads of different ones where people
Okay.
just feel, well, first of
Okay.
all, they feel seen, they feel
Okay.
recognized in their
Okay.
issues.
Yeah.
But people have moved countries based on what the cards have advised.
So there is a community in the world who really follow what tarot card is.
Yeah.
And they do it on daily basis, or how is it? Like how do?
Oh no, I usually advise. You can pick a card every day to see, okay, what can I prepare myself for?
Okay.
But when it comes to really guidance
Yeah.
or looking at what is
Yeah.
ahead of us,
Yeah.
I probably say every 3 to 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah,
3 to
but
6 months
also,
okay.
but also,
there is
if
any-
you have a big decision to make,
okay.
like,
And then you
these
see.
people came to me and they were like, okay, we're looking at, 3 different options of where we could move.
Okay.
And then we look at the cards of like, okay, which cards, indicate success, where are they placed,
Well,
are they placed there?
Yeah.
And then they ended up moving.
Okay. A lot of people call you psychic, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've seen psychics in movies and series and all that. So I want to better understand what is a psychic, and do you have any special powers, or how does it work?
Yeah, this is the thing, like in the movies, it gets also exaggerated. So I just feel that I have grown and developed over time the ability to tune into people's energies. So it's not something that some people, like in the Sixth Sense, they say, I see dead people walking around like regular people. That's not what it is for me.
Okay.
I can tune into someone's, we just discussed energy field.
Okay.
and I can feel, what is going on with them. Are there any emotions that I'm picking up on? What lies underneath a certain thought or experience that they might have? That's how I consider myself to be psychic.
Where does these abilities come from? Like, have you studied something, or is this
So I have.
science
I think everyone has these abilities.
Okay.
But you should be, just as you learn how to play the piano, dedicated to developing it.
And how have you developed, and what was the age that you started doing
Yeah.
this? How was it?
So I started with learning the cards and studying, actually, like really learning what they mean when I was 19. So that
very
was
young age.
a while ago.
Okay.
And
that was in Netherlands?
that was in the Netherlands,
Okay.
yeah. And then I went on with intuitive development circles and courses where we just meditate together with a certain intention.
Okay.
We would grow awareness of, other people's energies, how they would feel. We would learn about energy protection, energy clearing, all these things that are really important, of course, when you do work with energy.
So you have a class, or is there a dedicated institute or something like that?
Yeah, there is actually a dedicated institute for psychic studies in the UK. I've never attended that one.
Okay.
I have attended the college for mediumship, so that is connecting with energies that,
Wow, mediumship.
with those who are no longer here. There's...
Okay, can you explain more on mediumship?
Yeah,
please?
so
What is it?
mediumship is a skill where people connect with, the spirits of those people who are no longer with us, who passed away.
Okay.
And whether that is really, people perceive it to be the spirit, right, of someone. And we can debate whether that is really, someone's spirit, or whether it is a residual energy that's just lingering, or a memory that we tap into.
Yeah.
But it's really interesting to just be able to pass on beautiful messages from
But how
positive messages.
How do you know that if it's that that same person is there, or how do you recognize him that he's the same person?
So in mediumship, you would require to give evidence. So memories, personality description.
You physically talk to them, or is just mentally?
No,
you
I
just feel
don't.
it?
I just feel the energies.
And then how do you communicate with them?
It's like thoughts appear in my mind.
Okay.
Yeah, or feelings physically appear in my body.
Okay.
Or sometimes we tap into the energy of, how did they pass away? And I can physically feel, like a pressure in my chest, or like breathing, struggle to breathe, or, like pain in my heart, or something goes to my head, and I'll be like, oh, it's a stroke, or,
So that's the way they communicate.
Yeah,
and
that's how I tune into the energy. Yeah,
that's how you've understood. That's where your meditation and the things that you've done helps you understand what the communication is.
Yeah, and that's still, mediumship is still for me a work in progress.
Okay.
Because sometimes things get lost in translation. But when it comes to psychic, and tuning into the energy of another person, receiving information about them, which I always make this kind of gesture, receiving that information coming from the universal knowledge, like that. Is something that I've been doing for a much longer time, and therefore I feel
what if there is
it's easier for me.
An evil or a bad spirit that you get connected with? How do you get?
Yeah, I clear those. Yeah, clear the negative energies.
So
or attachments.
Yeah, you clear it off. How do you what kind of
prayer? Actually.
Okay. So you pray.
Yeah, so I pray. I have learned these techniques from we call him guru, but like a healer who's based in Indonesia.
The shaman that people call him. Most of the people call them, but you guys call him a guru.
Yeah, we call him a guru.
What is
so he is a healer that is really humble and just works with the people in his village, and a few internationals who found him. I was introduced to him through my teacher that I worked with for my shamanic practice, which is another subject to talk about.
Yes, a very interesting subject.
Yeah, and so he I want to say helped me increase my power so that I can deal with these what we
Increase
call
your
negative.
power.
I don't like to use the word negative
Yeah.
because it sounds so negative, but they can be disruptive energies. They might have good intentions for themselves.
I can see it's very difficult for you to put it because
Yeah.
this is a completely different realm that
and
we
it
talk
is,
about.
and it's also so
Putting it into words.
exactly, but it's also so grand. There's so many aspects of shamanic healing that I could talk a whole hour just about that.
Healing. Let's talk about healing.
Yeah.
Okay. You heal people.
Yeah.
And how do you do that? What do you do?
Yeah, so I connect with, we previously spoke about energy bodies.
Yeah.
So I work with the energy body. That doesn't mean that I don't heal in the physical body, but it means I don't touch the physical body.
You don't touch them at all.
I don't touch them at all.
Then how do you know what problems there are?
Well, I can, people would come to me with certain problems. So then I would be like, all right, they, want me to work on anxiety. I know generally that's based here in the upper chest. So then I would move my hand around that area, but not on that area. And I would, let's say, pull the energy out that is connected to that anxiety.
Okay.
If we're dealing with physical pain, earlier this week I had someone who I was actually doing the healing, and she was like, "Oh, my back is starting to hurt," right in the moment.
Okay.
And then I pull out that energy.
How do you pull out? Like you just.
It's hard to explain because it's just something that comes so naturally to me.
Yeah,
I set an intention, and it's like I feel a tingling in my hand, and my hand gets warm where it needs to be.
Okay.
So I can move my hand around, and where it gets warm is that then I know where I need to be. The other option I have is closing my eyes and tuning in, visualizing the body in front of me, and then I'll see where I need to go. Or sometimes I feel it physically in my own body.
Wow.
Yeah.
The people who are usually doing it. I'm from India, right? So you've visited India, I think, many times. So the people who do all this are usually, they have a different appearance. Like, they have piercings, they look different, their hair are different.
Yeah.
Their clothes are all over the place.
They're all the flowy clothes and like the
But,
typical
you are more like, you
colours.
look like a normal person.
Yeah,
and
I'm very... Like even yesterday I did a free meditation for people to attend, and one of the feedback that I got was like, I just love how direct and down to earth you are. There's no nonsense. There's no fluff. I don't like the fluff.
Yeah.
I like, I'm Dutch.
Yeah.
We're like, we go for it. We'll give it to you straight. It's like, and I'm a normal person, right?
How do you differentiate between intuition, delusion, and when you talk to entities, right? If the entity is giving you the right information or not, they can manipulate, right?
Yeah, they can.
How do you differentiate? What do you?
I would pray on it.
Okay.
If I get advice, of course, my years of experience have now may be able to differentiate. But for those who don't have that experience, I would pray on it. The first time that an energy came and connected with me and told me I needed to do healing and how to do it, and it's like, just move your hand and pull. I was like, really? And I just verified, is this true? Is this true? Is this true? Yeah. You can ask 3 times. What I did in that moment, I surrounded myself with, a divine light from God. And I asked that energy to come and connect with me. And it was still able to connect with me. So therefore, I knew.
So you surrounded yourself with light.
Yep.
How? By prayers?
By prayers, but also visualization. So I just closed my eyes and I asked, the divine to come and surround me with that white light.
So when you do this, right, or you open doors with another realm, right? And how is that? What kind of effect does it have on you when you do these practices?
Well, you just asked me why I traveled home, right? Because nature clears me. Yeah, you need to, of course it affects you, right? I usually work for about 3 to 4 months and then I feel I'm quote unquote full. I do prayer. Like I said,
what kind of prayers do you?
So I recite every time when I finish, my work. I shower and I recite Al-Fatiha.
You mean the Surah Al-Fatiha?
Yeah, Surah Al-Fatiha.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because you've done the Indonesian aspect.
So this is the thing, right? Like, I'm not working in a particular or through a particular religion. I embrace all. So I do part shamanic work, but the guru that I just previously mentioned, he's a Muslim. So he asked me, recite Surah Al-Fatiha. I do that regularly. There are a couple other surahs that I recite and that I've learned.
Can you recite
Kursi,
for me?
Al-Fatiha. Oh, I get shy.
Okay, we'll make you shy, then we can do it later. So you before you go into these exercise, right, and you clear the energy, you have any you go through a ritual before that? Is your day different? What do you do?
So when it comes to the readings, like I usually just light my candle and my incense, and I recite Al-Fatiha before the readings. But with the healings, I recite Al-Fatiha for the actually, and then for the guardians of the surah. I recite it 3 times, and then when I'm done, like I said, I just clear with the same.
Wow.
With the same.
Have you ever spoken with past life, and let's just ask that what kind of problems that people have usually when they come to you as healing? Yeah,
for healing, it could be lots of different reasons. Usually, like I said, when they feel stuck, when they feel their energy is heavy. It could be a negative. Let me use that word now. Attachment, as in, they carry some energy from someone else. Yeah. It could be that they aren't, I want to say, in alignment with where they need to be.
Okay.
So it's like when we do things and we use a lot of free will, right? We make a lot of choices about how we want things.
Yeah.
But that sometimes influences what we're supposed to be going through.
So there are things that we want, and there are things that we need to be,
or that God wants for us.
God wants, yeah. So
sometimes there's a misalignment there, right? We're pursuing something that we really want, but Allah has a different plan for us.
Yes.
So then we feel off. We feel like something's just wrong.
So, it's not working.
It's not working. Exactly. We keep, facing or hitting walls.
Yeah.
Then what I do is I bring you back on that path. So I either clear the energies that need to go, that aren't, let's say, right for you, or I realign you with where you're meant to be.
Right. Yeah. And how would you know that where you just...
I don't even know. Like, I just, by clearing the energies and me... I want to say set an intention or move someone back. Like, I don't know where they're going to go from there.
Okay.
Right? And it could be someone, for example, really forcing to be in a relationship. And they're like, we're supposed to be in this. But then something happens when they come, for a couple healings. And all of a sudden, out of nothing, that relationship ends. And we're like, see, you were forcing something. Yeah.
Yeah. So you talked about Hinduism and the way you came, right? But I want to ask you that, do you believe in afterlife? Because we as Muslims, right, we believe that our main aim is to reach to a position, right? Akhirah is what we call. And what do you believe in? What were you taught about that?
Yes, I do believe in an afterlife. It's like I refer to it as the light. When we pass, that we move into the light. We are being given the big test before we are allowed into the light. So for me, if we fail the test, then we spoke about earthbound spirits before. We stay stuck on this plane. But if we pass the test, which is what I've experienced or felt or seen or journeyed into, was like we face our biggest fear. And when we overcome that, then we get, crossed into the light. From there, we reevaluate, what we set out to do, where did we succeed, where did we fail, what were our good deeds, what were our bad deeds, what were bad deeds that we thought were good deeds. We have loads of those as well. And then for me, I believe in reincarnation. So I believe that we then set out the next circumstances, we choose the next life. We potentially wait for people that are part of our soul family to get together. And then we, start making plans and we start incarnating to learn new lessons and more lessons.
You said fear. Okay, I want to talk more since we talked about the dark entities and all that. How do you think that fear affects these situations?
It's not a helpful emotion, is it?
Yeah, it's more negative.
Yeah, again, when we, we talk about negative and positive,
Yeah.
but yeah, like the more, look, I have a healthy respect for certain energies,
Right.
right? And when I do energy clearings, I cannot show fear because they, will work on that,
Yeah.
or they will create circumstances or put, I want to say, intimidating thoughts in my mind that cause more fear, and therefore I lose my power. So when let's refer to it as that. When we're in a fearful state, we give away power.
But that does it mean that we attract more fearful things that if you're in fear? Is that
It can be, sometimes. For example, when I do a healing or a clearing of an energy, and the person after that is like, okay, now I had this and I felt it and it was like tingling my skin before.
Yeah.
But now I don't feel it. But where is it? Is it coming back? And that person's going to keep looking for it, right?
Yeah.
It's like, then of course they're going to attract, that fear is going to attract another energy. Like it hardly ever happens that the same energy would come back once I clear it. But there's so many energies in this world.
Yeah. Wow.
So there could be another one that comes back, and then that fear attracts.
Yeah.
That it's like a hello, waving a flag, like I'm here, I'm open, come connect with me, and then I have to see them
But
again.
It's difficult to not be in fear.
But
when you're
again,
in that situation.
Prayer helps.
But I've understood a lot more than what
I'm
I
glad.
understand, and it helps me align with my beliefs. So I know certain things that even me as a Muslim, right?
Yeah.
Islam has given us all the answers, and it has given us the proof. And we have a lot of clerics, and we believe in people, and we have a lot of teachings.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
And it proves that these things are there, certain things are there, certain things are not there.
Yeah.
It is not just something in the air, or you just believe out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But when
and there's a lot of overlap, in what I do and what you believe. And,
yes, that's
and
why.
people are like, oh, it's, like something to be afraid of.
Yes.
Or I'm like, no, we should embrace it because it's just another gift from
Yes.
God.
Yes. This is a knowledge that, it is very important for me to align myself with my understanding. And it even creates a discussion in my mind that what I believe, why is it so right? Because I've heard things from the other side as well.
Yeah.
And what you believe and what I believe, and then I discuss in my mind and I come to a conclusion.
Yeah. But you also feel it in your belly, right?
Yes.
It's like you feel the truth of it.
Yes. And I believe that there is only one truth. I mean, there's just one path.
Yeah.
And the humans have, we look from this angle, that angle. But
Exactly.
it is your weakness.
Yeah.
That you are looking at some, but there is
Ego.
just one path.
Yeah, ego.
Ego.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
ego, the mind.
Ego. Wow.
Yeah.
Do you even when you do the energies and you heal, ego? How does that play?
Oh, I try to just leave all of that out the door and be as pure of a channel as I can be.
But
and
what
of
about
course,
the client? I mean, the person you're treating with, that guy.
everyone has ego, right?
Yeah, but does that affect you or?
No,
while
because I don't
healing?
really work with it as such.
Okay.
And I'll listen to what people have, as stories, right?
Okay.
Again, from a psychological perspective,
Right.
it's all the stories that we create in our
Right,
heads.
right.
And sometimes I listen to them. Sometimes I, try to argue with the stories. Sometimes I just leave it be. When I do the healing, I don't even interact with the stories.
Oh,
I just
okay.
do what
You just do
I
what you
know
do.
or feel
Okay.
that needs to be done.
Oh, okay. So I have
Yeah.
some very interesting questions.
Okay,
So
shoot. Let's go.
Let's do this. Okay. I want to understand, can you bring wealth to a person by healing, or what you do as a psychic?
Yes and no. I can find ways where people can, so energetically, so that they have the biggest, like we spoke about previously with the babies,
Yeah,
right?
right.
We can create the energetic circumstances,
Yeah.
but if it is not meant in your destiny to win the lottery, right?
Yeah.
If God doesn't feel like, oh, this is what you're meant to be going through, it's not going to happen.
Right.
And then I also believe in capacity, of attraction. Are we capable of attracting that? But that's, I think, maybe a little bit of a complicated subject to now go into. But that's also there.
I read a book called The Secret.
Yeah.
Right? And it says that whatever you think about, whatever you want to achieve, you attract
law of
that.
attraction.
Yeah, the law of attraction. What do you believe in that? Is it?
Yes and no. Again, it goes back to the same principle. Yes, I believe that we can. I worked with a wonderful mentor based in the US, and she would ask the question to the divine in the sense of, I would like to receive this. How can I best receive this? And then if there's anything still standing in the way for her, the universe will show her the block. And if she can receive it, if the divine sees her fit to receive it, she does.
Okay.
So I believe in the law of attraction more like that. But also, again, if you're not meant to, I'm here to attract a life partner.
Right.
But if you're not meant to attract the life partner right now, but only in 3 years' time, it's only going to happen in 3 years' time.
Okay.
If that person that you're meant to be with is still going through a journey by him or herself. Right? We cannot manifest it.
But then how does your factor as a psychic, as a healer, where do you come in? Because it's going to happen after 3 years.
Yeah.
So what do you do at this current moment?
So as a psychic, I would look into, is there anything still blocking you? Or as a healer, is there anything still blocking you? As a psychic, what can we expect?
Okay.
Potentially, when can we expect
When can
it?
we expect it?
Though timeline is always the most difficult to predict.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
What's your most, I would say, dangerous or something unpredictable that happened when you were doing something? Do you recall any such incident, or you want to share something, a story or something?
As during work or in general?
Up to you.
So I have the most unexpected thing that ever happened was when I was traveling in the US, and I was visiting this ghost town. And I was feeling all the presence of still the earthbound spirits there. And I said, is there anyone here who would still, like to, maybe not be here anymore, right? To have help being crossed over. And I wasn't feeling anything. So I was like, okay, you're all happy here. Good, great, no issues. And then I went back to my Airbnb and I fell asleep. And at 5 a.m, I felt something touch my toe.
Oh my God.
And I woke up and I was like, what's going? No, actually, I remember that was 5:55. Okay. So it was exactly 5:55.
Okay.
And it felt like, the energy of a young woman who was like, I'm ready.
Oh,
so she didn't want to, be trapped here or be stuck here on Earth, or sometimes what I call hell. And she was like, "Can you please help me, find a way to cross over?" So I did.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that was it was. I was honored, to do this work as well for her.
Wow,
but it's kind of weird when you just feel something grabbing your toe. You're like, what's that? I was sleeping.
I would never want to feel that. But it's a great story, and I think that with this conversation, a lot of things are more clear. But it's very interesting to debate about it.
Yeah, it's a different world. It's a whole different and again, a lot of people fear around it, or they're scared of it. We spoke about the more negative spirits, but they don't. They don't come around that often.
I think it depends on your will and what you believe. If your belief is strong.
Yeah, and if we call it, like in spiritual ways, like vibration is high.
Yes.
Right? When you feel good, when you do good things, when you pray, when you, don't hurt other people, we immediately have a higher vibration. So these lower spirits, are very difficult to actually connect with us.
Do you think that we as humans are on the top of the chain, right? These spirits, these things, they come below us because we are the final end product?
No.
Of the product of the line?
I don't think I believe that.
What do you believe?
So, for example, the spirits or energies that connect with me to help me, to support me, they're definitely higher than me.
Higher in the sense what? Like they're
more advanced?
Their connection to the
like
divine
spirit
power?
guides. Yeah, more, yeah. stronger connection to the
as a
divine
spirit,
power.
they have more power than
Yeah.
our physical body.
Yeah.
That's what you're talking
Yeah.
about? Or they are more connected to the divine power?
Yeah, I feel they are.
Okay.
Yeah, because we're still silly humans. Right?
Yeah.
We still have, like we spoke about before, the ego. We still have justifications. We still have reasons. We still create all of these stories on why we do what we do.
Yeah.
And they see things from a much, I want to say, higher perspective.
Yeah.
You know, they know things we don't know. Like we just have this limited understanding of the world, and let alone what happens after we,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
die.
But even in that world, you know, the higher world, there are two entities. There's the good and there's the bad.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't know that which one is affecting the spirit that you're talking about.
Yeah, but again, I think sometimes we overestimate or over quantify the bad ones. It's the same as in the human experience, right? Yeah, there are psychopaths.
Yeah.
There are people who use energies or spirits and they turn them for, you know, to influence other people's free will. But it's not that much. It's not that often, right? Yeah. Most energies just want to be there to help us and support us and or show us, oh, we're still here. You can still connect with us. Right. You know, we still happy to guide you. We want to advise you. We want to give you inspiration.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I want to talk about the most dramatic aspect of the podcast is the dark entities.
Okay.
Okay. And some people call it as ghosts, as we know it as. And a lot of people believe, a lot of people don't believe. What do you have to say about that?
Yeah, so I believe. I have, like when we talk about ghosts, you know, they can be, well, there you go. Yeah, so they sometimes make themselves known like this. They show their presence. And for me, they're like, love it when that happens. You know, they're more of a residual energy. Like ghosts don't necessarily have to be dark entities or negative. You know, when something creates a light flicker like this, it just wants to make itself known, right? It's just that it's present, you know, but it could be just, the energy of this place. Do you not feel it? Do you feel the energy?
I'm not sure about it. So I have seen a lot of, you know, things because I'm from India, right? So I've seen a lot of activities. You know, it's very common in India. And there are some things where, you know, the evil spirit that comes inside a human being. Yeah. And this is what people say. I don't know if it's true or not.
It can be,
as a Muslim, right, we have very strong belief in the Almighty. So we believe that everything is in His control. But of course, there are, you know, good and bad in this world. So what would you say? What do you believe in all this?
Yeah, I think possessions happen. In certain countries, certain cultures more than in others, right? Okay. There's also this...
What is it, basically? What exactly is it?
I mean, yeah, ghosts.
Okay.
It could be that.
So it's a spirit.
It's a spirit. Yeah, it's a spirit. And they range, you know, on all sides of the spectrum. I wouldn't usually call them bad or evil or dark or anything like that. You know, even in mediumship, there's trance mediumship, you know, where they connect. It's not something that I wish to do. Because for me, letting a spirit, no matter, you know, where they're from, just really enter my body always takes a toll on the physical. So I would rather not. Yeah, okay. But there are people who do it. And you know, like in trance, say all things.
It's a science, it's a ritual. How do you...
Yeah, like it would be a ritual usually. Right, and usually people do this. I'm sure in India, in like temples, etc. In the UK, people do this in their own setup or in a dark room. Okay. It's possible, but and again, it depends on, you know, as with everything, you know. For example, evil eye, right? If we in my culture, for example, right, evil eye is not many people really believe in it. And if you have 100% that you don't believe in it, like these spirits or energies cannot connect with you, or the jealousy cannot, reach your field. But if there's a 0.0001% of you that kind of maybe does believe in it, then it has a hook and it can connect with you.
We talked about ghosts, right?
Yeah. So those for me are energies that just stay earthbound.
So they have passed, but they're still on Earth.
Yeah, they haven't crossed over properly.
They haven't crossed over. Okay. So I have heard a lot of news and everything that, there's a house that is haunted. There's a place that is haunted. Okay, there are spirits living in it. What does that mean?
Depends. Sometimes they're energies of spirits of children that are there. And they just want to play. Right? But sometimes you spoke about the darker entities. They feed off of our positive energy. And then we might get more bad luck when we live in a house like that.
And they are always in a sad state, or there are...
actually sometimes in a sad state, sometimes in an angry state.
And do you think that if we live in a good environment, is it difficult for them to stay in that area or that place?
Yeah. That's also why people say, when we play the Quran, lots, in
so when
certain surahs, we pray, then it's more difficult for them to stay in a home. There are also other ways of protecting. Like I have a lot of energies just that I work with, or that I've been... that have been blessed. I feel like I'm blessed to have received, those energies connecting with me, to protect my home. But sometimes, I also go to people's houses and I clear the energy for them.
Wow. Okay, so my last question to you. Okay, we end this podcast.
Already.
Because I've taken a lot of your time.
No, it's fine.
It's already... so let me just put this, I don't know how I'm going to put it. One thing that you want to tell humanity, if a spirit, if you're connected to a spirit and you know the other side of the world, what would one advice or one thing that you want to tell humanity in person, what to do?
When you ask me that question, the first thing that just pops into my consciousness is love each other. I know it's a cliche, but there's not enough love. Compassion, understanding. Again, we all know people always others always go through things. Can we be more caring and aware of that? Just love each other.
I think it makes more sense in this generation, this time where we see a lot of conflicts happening every day. There are things that, one is killing each other just for power.
And hurting, and exactly that. Ego.
Ego. It's
painful.
It's
very painful.
Unbelievable.
Anyway,
Kyra, thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, and I had a great conversation. It was a tough for you and for me as well.
I just enjoyed it. And if people want to know more, they can just Google Kyra, Kyra, Psychic Dubai, or my website's kyravdberg.com. Happy to answer many more questions if after people listening to this podcast they have more things that they want to ask me, or deeper
I have
deeper
brought
questions.
7 papers.
Oh, you had so many questions, and we only covered half.
So many questions are left. And we'll have a conversation later. Hopefully you can come back again on the podcast.
I'd be honored. I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you to all my audience who have watched this podcast. Thank you. I think it was a lengthy podcast, but it was very interesting. And thank you to tune into Onpoint with Abbas Hamidi. Keep liking the podcast, hitting the subscribe button, and keep watching. Thank you.